Hi, this is Chris. I'm making a brief video this week about how to cook mushrooms. Mushrooms are, to me, a pretty important part of cooking. I was pretty disappointed when I found out they're not super high in protein, but they are really delicious and chewy if you cook them right. Salty, kind of chewy morsels of goodness that can really give any dish you're making a lot of texture and flavor. If you've recently cut out meat or you're trying to cut out meat, mushrooms are a great way to get a lot of flavor into a dish where you might otherwise miss it. They're a ton of B vitamins. They're really healthy. They're very easy to cook. Growing up, I did not like mushrooms, especially raw mushrooms. I can eat raw mushrooms now. I don't love them. They're earthy and they're okay. But if you don't know how to cook them, they end up tasting kind of like that raw mushroom, except, well, I don't know, cooked, a little slimy. Not very good. So my preferred way for cooking mushrooms for almost any purpose is dry pan mushrooms. Should have had this out already. I got, like so many of the ways I cook, I got it from Mark Bittman's How to Cook Everything Vegetarian. Trying to get the volume right. This method for cooking mushrooms works for almost anything you want to use mushrooms for. It's my 40th birthday tomorrow. By the time I post this video, I will be 40, I assume. I'm having some friends over tonight to do some trivia, and I'm making some pizza. I think mushrooms are a great pizza topping. So I'm using cremini mushrooms, baby portobellas. What? But if I was making ramen like I've made before, on camera, or another dish that uses mushrooms, this same method is good for almost any mushroom you want to cook. Shiitake mushrooms for ramen or a stir fry, if you do this to them first, they'll taste delicious. Any sort of, fancy high-end culinary mushroom will respond well to being cooked this way, and it's really easy. Now let me grab this microphone. For pizza toppings, I've sliced my mushrooms in quarters like so. But if you're doing maybe a stir fry or something with shiitakes, you might want them sliced up into chunks, strips like that. You can do them real thin if you want them to be in a soup or something, or you can do nice thick slices. Your cooking time might vary a little bit depending on how you chop them up. But for a lot of things, pasta, creamy pasta, a quartered mushroom like that'll take care of you. The trick to dry pan mushrooms is barely a trick at all. You put the mushrooms in a hot pan, you let the water cook off, and then once the water's kind of cooked out of them with the lid on, you take the lid off and let them dry out. That's it. It's pretty quick. I made this same video a few days ago, and it wasn't so quick because I didn't realize that I had my video camera set to slow-mo, so it was like a 90-minute long video of me cooking mushrooms. You don't need that. So a little bit of oil in the bottom of your pan. I normally use my cast iron, but I'm using that for making some pizza crusts, and I also wanted you guys to be able to see the mushrooms cooking with my clear glass lid. I don't have a lid that fits on my cast iron, so I just stack one on top of the other. It's a bit messy, but it works. So hot pan, about medium high, medium. A little bit of oil, you don't need much. You just want to stop the mushrooms from sticking. Woo, that's hot. I let it warm up too long when I was chatting. Mushrooms in the pan. I like to do a fairly healthy pinch of salt. Man, that's just going everywhere. My cooking's as messy as the rest of my life is. Big pinch of salt over the top. I like to do a lot of fresh cracked pepper on there. Boom. Just get that asthma. Get after it. You can hear them. That's the sound of something tasty. Plonk with the microphone. And then a lid on top. And that's it. You're going to let them sit like that for about maybe 10 minutes. The steam will build up inside of the pan. The heat, the steam, it'll get a lot of the moisture out of the mushrooms. So when you take the lid off in a little bit, you'll see there'll be a lot of water bubbling under the mushrooms, amongst the mushrooms. Take the lid off, give them a stir, let them cook without the lid on for a while, maybe 2, 3, 5 minutes. Give them another stir. Do that a couple of times over 5 or 10, 15 minutes. Let them get browned up. Bam, that's it. They'll be delicious, chewy mushrooms. Like I said, great for a creamy pasta, great for pizza toppings. If you're doing shiitakes, great in a stir fry. Almost any mushroom you want to cook, this is the way to cook them. It's really easy. They're really tasty. Pretty good for you. All right, that's it. By the time I post this video, I'll be 40. I hope the video has aged as well as I do. And I'll be back sometime soon with something else.